Okay, we continue with function change functionality inside the chapter 3. Okay, as I promised before this, so the changing of the password by administrator requirement, system requirement, and change on your own. So this is one of the example how we want to prevent from illegal accessibility. So vulnerable password change system reveal whether the request username is valid, allow unrestricted guesses of the existing password, validate the existing password before comparing the new password, and confirm your password field. So do you think like give a guideline? For example, your new password should have uppercase, lowercase. Okay, only this character accepted. Uh, that one is not good actually. It create a vulnerable in your password change system. Attackers or hackers can test or simulate what can expect what is the form of password that you want to use. Okay, this is the password change decision tree. This is step by step actually. Identify the user, validate existing password, integrate with any account logout features, compare the new password with each other, and again password quality rules, feedback, any error. Often there are subtle logic flaws. Okay, this is the guideline. It is not a must go situation. It is depend on your password change decision tree. It is depend on your algorithm in your stepwise how you want to manage your changing password. It is depend. Okay, there is some approach where before updating the existing password, you need to confirm do the two confirmation way where the system itself send a number or validation number or validation phrase. So you need to put that phrase inside the web application so that you can update your password. It's depend on your situation. So you need to know this, and you need to know this. Sometimes the question will be asked, what is your approach to do the password change decision tree? Okay, this is not the unique way or the one-way situation. Okay, there is a various technique, so it is depend on your approach. Okay, forgotten password functionality. Why we need to discuss this? Okay, this is one of the step. Okay, one of the step. Okay, you can refer in chapter 1, the first one. Okay, where how the hackers try to do the attacking. Okay, this is one of them. Okay, you actually don't know the password, and then you click forgotten the password, and then email. Okay, and then maybe he already hacked your email. So from that point of a step, okay, they can use to predict or to assume or maybe try to guess, okay, what is the password. So often the weakest link use a secondary challenge like mother's maiden name. Okay, maybe they already know this. In social media, you already write your mother's name, okay, your mother's maiden name. A small set of possible answer can be brute force. Okay, like remember back what is the brute force is. They try the most possible answer. Okay, often can be found from public information. So all of this thing is look like an extra security, but what I can say is actually it provide information to the attackers. Other users can write their own question. Okay, attackers can try to a long list of a username. Okay, seeking a really weak question like do I own a boat? Password hint are often obvious. That means the meaning of obvious. I can give a situation like this. Okay, if I want to hack a username and a password for someone, so I need to register, and then when I register, okay, I have the same situation where the website or the web application pull out or display the hint, so they can use that information to attack another username. Okay, often the mechanism used to reset the password after a correct challenge answer is vulnerable. Some apps disclose the forgotten password to the user, so an attacker can use the account without the owner knowing. Some applications immediately let the user in after the challenge, no password needed. So this is all the flaws, all the drawback of this password um, forgotten password approach. Okay, they use this forgotten password approach mechanism to attack. Some applications allow the user to specify an email for the password reset link at the time the challenge is complete, or use email from a hidden field or cookies. Okay, it is actually inside. Okay, the cookies, you maybe use that cookies to do or to guess or try to access your username. Some apps allow a password reset and don't notify the user with an email. So this is the worst part. Okay, it's allow you to update your password, but you don't know. Okay, you don't know somebody else already reset your password. Okay, it happened to me once. Actually, someone tried to get the access to my, I think, Instagram, Facebook. I forgot about it. I think the social media site, and then the owner is Russian, but it is being recovered. Lucky for me. Okay, remember me. Sometimes a simple persistent cookie like remember user equal to Jasmine session 7 to 8, and no need to actual login if username or session ID can be guessed or found. Okay, you remember the process of login. Okay, the credential is approved, the username and password is approved, so it create server will send cookies and session. So the cookies and session is being tapped or being copied and then used. Okay, used in other PC or other users. So somehow no need for login and login process. Even if the user ID or session token is properly encrypted, it can be stolen via cross-site scripting or by getting access to a user phone or PC. So we're going to discuss this in, I guess, chapter 4. Chapter 4. What is the cross-site scripting? Okay, incomplete validation also a problem. Some applications truncate password without telling users. Also strip unusual characters. Okay, this is an example of incomplete validation. Okay, they modify actually your information based on the requirement of the system. Okay, and then the non-unique username. Okay, rare, but it has happened. Okay, predictable username. Okay, like I mentioned earlier in a previous class. Okay, like me. Okay, my username is, well, I don't want to tell you. Okay, and from my first name, from my last name, it depends. It can be predictable. Okay, and You know what? The email address, for example, email address for UTHM staff, okay, it's actually used for the login. It is happen in other organization, okay, where the username is the email address. So just be very careful. So we need to protect all of this thing, because your information is actually unfortunately is already displayed in public. Okay, predictable initial password. Okay, insecure distribution of credential. Okay, password sent by email is not very good. SMS, etc. User may never change those credential. Okay, activation URLs may be predictable. Okay, some application email the new password to the user after each password change. Okay, the password itself is being displayed in the email, in the SMS, which is not good. Okay, you can notify the user but never reveal the username and password, or maybe you truncate it into a few words, or maybe you put an asterisk, a star, whatever it is, so that it can be a confidential and it's not being read. Okay, that is for part 1 and part 2. For chapter 3, part 2 is quite long. Okay, and chapter 3.3 is implementation clause. We're going to discuss okay, fail open login, multi-stage login, okay, ensure credential storage, securing authentication, strong credential. Okay. Okay, for 3.3 implementation clause, I will continue with your class later. Thank you, and Assalamualaikum.